Hi boys and girls, today is Earth Day, and on Earth Day some people like to plant trees, and I wanted to show you a little spruce that I planted for Earth Day. In a little bit we're going to see some flowers and do some planting, but first let's go read a story. This is a story called Flower Garden. Garden in a shopping cart. Doesn't it look great? Garden on the checkout stand. I can hardly wait. Garden sitting on our laps. People smile at us. Garden going up the stairs, stopping at each floor. This garden's getting heavier. At last, our own front door. Hurry, hurry, get the trowel. Spread the papers thick. Get the bag of potting soil. Get the planting mix. Put purple pansies at each end. Here's our pansies. Daisies white as snow. Daffodils, geraniums, and tulips in a row. Garden in a window box, high above the street. Where butterflies can stop and rest, and ladybugs can meet. Walkers walking down below will lift their heads and see purple, yellow, red, and white, a color jamboree. Candles on a birthday cake. Chocolate ice cream too. Happy, happy birthday, Mom. A garden box for you. And now I'm going to read to you the story, The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. It is autumn, fall. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, but the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops and seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they're going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by. The sun shines. Rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves began to grow up toward the sun and the air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and rain away from one of the small new plants. And that little plant dies. The tiny seed has not begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it starts to grow into a plant. Here's the tiny one right there. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child does not see the plants as he runs along, and oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it. The rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It's taller than the trees. It's taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they've ever seen. It's a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. And now let's go plant some flowers. All right, boys and girls, I have several different kinds of flowers here to plant. I've got some marigolds, and I've got this kind called cosmos. And I have some beautiful, sunflowers. There they are. And some different kinds of marigolds. I've also got here some peas and some tomatoes that we're going to plant. So the first thing you'll need is a pot, or several pots, and I just reuse these pots. I don't buy new ones. And the important thing about the pot is that it has holes in the bottom. That lets all of the extra water come out of the bottom so your seeds don't get drowned. So take your pot, and you can use a trowel if you want. Fill it up with some soil. Use some nice potting soil. There. Now all our pots are ready. And let's look at our seeds. Let's start with the marigolds. I think the marigold seeds are funny. They look like little sticks. It's really getting windy out here. There we go. So what I'm going to do is put maybe 4 seeds in each pot. And I'm just going to lay them on top at first. So I can see when I have them all planted. 2 more pots here. All right, now, put these back. Now what we're going to do is push those down into the dirt and cover them up. Make sure all the seeds are nice and covered. There we go. All right. Now let's look at the cosmos seeds. Let's see if they look the same or different. They're kind of like little sticks too. A little smaller, aren't they? So I'm going to put a few of those. I'm just going to do a couple of these pots this time. Push them in there and cover them up. There we go. And let's look at the sunflower seeds. There's different kinds of sunflowers. These are kind of small for sunflower seeds. All right, let's cover those up. And let's look at the snow pea seeds. Those are round and pretty big. When we plant the peas, we're going to push them down a little bit farther. Cover them up. There we go. And then one more, that's our tomato seeds. And these are little cherry tomatoes. Let's see what they look like. Look at that. Really tiny. Gotta be careful not to lose them. other seeds here. I'm not going to plant these right now. I'm going to plant these in my garden later. I've got some lettuce, some beans, some squash and zucchini. All right, now the only thing we have left to do here is to water our plants. So we're going to give them quite a bit of water. Remember, we have holes in the bottom so the extra water can get out. So I'll finish watering those all later, but what I want you to remember is that you'll need to water these, check them for each day, and if they're dry, you need to water them. I'm going to leave my plants outside during the day, but at night it gets too cold for them right now. So I'm going to leave them outside where they get lots of light and can grow strong. And then at night, I'm going to take them and put them inside where they'll stay warm enough. I hope you had fun planting with me.